Hey guys, I'm going to do this real quick before I forget. It's a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass Rocket 350. Now I haven't been in this beauty in years, and I haven't been in this seat in ever. Therefore, I've been fixing this bad girl up for a few years now. Start getting it real quick. See if I can. It's a beaut. The beauty. I'm actually zoomed in. Has the original radio in here, which is pretty neat. This is FM, AM. The cool thing is, though, this is one of the first cars to have the windshield. You can see this line right here, the windshield right here. That little line right there's windshield. This is how many miles on the clock, on the speedometer. And the fastest we got this thing up to is 90 degrees. And it's a his/her shifter, and last time I rode this thing was a couple years ago. And if you've been with the channel for a while, let me put on the dashboard real quick. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know I like these. If you've been with the channel for a while, guys, you know you can't really see me, but I can see you. But right here is the steering wheel, guys, and this is a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass Convertible. Now, last year at the top, this is the Rocket 350. This is not the 442. The 442 had more power. Now, original cigarette lighter, which I bet those have asbestos in it thanks to Grandma. But, yeah, original radio. Original radio and stuff. Stocks, horn that doesn't work. Lights right here. This car is very nice. I mean, I've been in this car for so many years. It's just surprising I'm in the old girl right now. I mean, this car is the best car in the world to actually own. Any Oldsmobile is the best car actually in the world to actually own, especially this model. Only has 4 vents. This is a convertible, so it has 4 vents. Here, here, and there. It feels weird being in the old girl. My grandfather restored this thing from the ground up. And that's about like I say, the hood's long. This thing does go quite fast. It's automatic, and that's all I can really say. The radio does work sometimes. Half the time the radio works, half the time the radio doesn't work. AM, FM, stereo, which this is a common thing. Some automobiles have the same radio this has, but this is pretty neat. Some radios that this radio had even had an 8-track version of this, which was a different version you could get with A1 with 8-track or, yeah, 8-track, because cassette players weren't around yet in cars. This has a generator, and it has everything you need. I mean, it drives like a normal car. I mean, it's a beautiful, nice old Cutlass. I mean, you don't see cars like this anymore. Like the classic cars you don't see anymore. I mean, they changed the car style. I mean, this is 1972. Last year they made convertibles for Oldsmobile. These cars have always been good. The doors got some weight to them. One mirror. I mean, I was supposed to get this car. If I could have drove, I was going to get this car. But I don't drive, so you can't get this car. But this car's awesome. It says one teeny problem with it. 2 problems. It's a lap belt, which is okay because I hit the horn. And another thing about this car it sucks is that everything about this car it sucks. There's one other thing about this car it sucks is it takes gas. It takes the gas in the trunk. That's the only thing that really sucks. What? What? Nothing, Grandpa. Just doing a video in the car. That's all I'm doing. A video in the car. But yeah, pretty much that's all I can really say. This is a nice old car. It runs like a top. If he ever does this thing, if he does decide to start this up, take it out later on today. Which we do have footage of the car on my GoPro in an earlier video. But yeah. But this car, I mean, I have some other videos of the car, but this car is just the best. It has I mean, besides having a 3-point seatbelt, this is one of the best cars you can actually own back in the day. I mean, We got oil, battery temperature, and that was, he added that, but yeah, because this car only has a fuel gauge and lights for everything else, even a generator light, but still, the amount of miles on this thing, not that bad. Now, according to the VIN number of this car, it was made in Lansing, Michigan. Now, according to the VIN number of this car, it was made in Lansing, Michigan. That might look a little dirty on camera, but you know what though? This car is one of the best cars ever built by GM. One of the last best cars built, one of the best cars GM ever built. I mean, GM built good cars. This thing is nice and sturdy, and I've been with him in the, I've been in this car for years. I mean, he restored from the ground up. I mean, it needs a couple new parts, but it's one of the best cars ever built. Like the guy in the garage had, his shifter was up here on the column. His shifter was up here. The guy who owns his garage has a 442 69. His on the column. Nope, right down here on the ground. And this car has something that most people want GM to make again. Has those crotch warmers. It also has the crotch warmers, which GM wants. I mean, car from 1952 has the crotch warmer. That's pretty neat. I mean, it's a warmer under the steering wheel. When I was younger, I thought that was to keep the steering fluid warm. But someone told me that was to keep your crotch warm, which I'm thinking, well, yeah, it's a man's car. Candy apple red, snow white top, white interior, wood paneling. It's the perfect car. Big mirror. I still can't believe, I mean, this thing's been in our family for so long, I can remember. Like those trees, this thing's been in our family as long as those trees were around for. This car is 50 years old. 50 years old, and it still looks as good. 1972 Cutlass Supreme with the good old Rocket 350. And this thing, for being 50 years old, it's still pretty good. Now, the last, let's see here, the last two, let's see here. Now, the last four digits, 2000, okay, now, this tell me this right here, the registration card says what it is, but I have heard people say online, now, I can't confirm this or not, but, okay, I think I broke that. It doesn't matter. According to what I have heard online, the last 6 digit tells you what model this car was. The last 6 digits of your VIN tells you what this car is. The last 6 digits in this VIN number starts with a 2. And I don't know how many of these were actually made. I looked online like I find the 442, not the Rocket 350s. But this is one of the best cars I've ever. I love being in this thing. It's nice. It's one of the best cars in the world. One of the best, actually, General Motors. This is one of the best cars General Motors ever made. Come on, these things. Okay, now its Delta 88 counterpart was in the NASCAR races. Its Delta 88 counterpart was actually NASCAR racing. But still, being this thing takes you back. My grandfather restored this thing from scratch, rebuilt it, and the high beams were on the floor, which I got no light in here, but I wonder. Light. Turn the light on real quick. The high beams are down here on the floor somewhere. I don't see them, but yeah, the high beams are supposed to be on the floor. Oh, here it is. Down there by my foot right there, you can't see it, but down by my foot is where the high beams are at. Right there, down by the floor is the high beams. Kill switch, high beams are right there on the floor. Now, I can't really see the high beams, and that's bright. Ah, it's bright. Yeah. The high beams are supposed to be on the floor, which I can't really see it, but yeah. I can feel it with my foot, but down there where my foot is where the high beams are supposed to be at now. I'm pushing it, nothing's happening. I think the key has to be to turn your high beams on. But this car was one of the best cars you could get back in the day. I mean, the best thing about this car is, most of it is toggle switches, okay? You got the wipers here, high, low, toggle up and down, which doesn't work. I mean, lights, you turn it off for lights. I mean, keys, blinkers, a shifter. I mean, everything you need is practically here. I mean, you got your blinker. I mean, let me turn this camera over here. You got your blinkers, your lights, your fan controls, your radio, your shifter, major stuff. There's speakers down there somewhere. I mean, everything you need is practically in this car. I mean, this car is practically what you need back in the day. This is what you practically need for your car. I mean, this car is. There's nothing wrong with this car. This car is perfect to be driving around town in. I mean, there's only one problem I have with this car. One problem with this car I don't like is the radio. The radio does not work that well in this car. Besides that, you got AM, FM stereo. That works. You got a nice AM, FM stereo. That works. You got a tuning arm that works. You got buttons you can push. I mean, it does. It's a good car. Good size radio. Good everything you need. I mean, the horn doesn't work. The air conditioner, it works. The air conditioner still works. The heater still works. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a little sharp, but yeah. The air conditioning still works in this car, partially. I mean, this is a good, usable car you can drive every day. I mean, it has a soft top, which is not good for the snow, but besides that, it's a nice, usable car you can use every day. It's a nice daily driver. The clock could get, I mean, yes, it does have a clock in the dash, pretty cool. I think it's pretty, now this I think is pretty cool. There's a clock in the dashboard. I think that's pretty cool. That could be fixed. If it was fixed, then this would be a nice car to have. I mean, because this is just what you need for a classic car to own. If this was a hardtop, I'd buy one. I'd buy myself a hardtop, because this is a lap belt one. This one also has a buzzer. If you have your seatbelt on, the buzzer goes off. So this is a usable car for every day. If you live in not Michigan, because Michigan, it gets cold here. But yeah, this is a nice, usable car. Now I'm going to get out of here because, you know, shouldn't be here this long, but yeah, I'm going to get out of here. It's a nice, usable car you can use for every day. It has lights and stuff, but not many lights, but it works. Oh, the car is, the whole thing about older cars, the door is hard to get out of older cars because the door, that's why everyone likes SUV. No offense to Cutlass. Now, these things were popular back in the day. You have to really shut it, but don't slam it. So I got my wish to actually sit in the Cutlass one last time before he sells it, if he sells it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. But we're still cutting up trees. You can see we're still cutting up trees.